As the return filing dates are drawing near, everyone becomes tensed as to how the return has to be filed accurately and how quickly they can do so before the deadline of the return is reached. People become very keen to collect their certificates of tax deduction at source from the various authorities like the banking authorities, the mutual funds, and all the other places like your employers. But remember one thing, that hard copy of the TDS certificates are not that essential nowadays, because the reflection of the TDS automatically goes to the income tax department, and that is reflected in your 26 AS, AIS and TIS forms. All your sources of income, the amounts that you've received during the year, and the amount of tax that has been deducted from you are all reflected in these three forms. So therefore, it becomes essentially very important for you to check this forms 26 AS, TIS and AIS that is available from your portal. One thing you must remember is that the TDS will be accurately reflected only after 31st May, which is the deadline for filing of TDS up to March 31, 2026. The returns are allowed to be submitted by 31st May, after which you will get an accurate 26 AS, AIS and TIS. Therefore, ideally, the return of your income should be filed in the months of June and July so that you get an accurate reflection of the TDS. Many people are dependent on their consultants for filing of their returns, and rightly so. But the responsibility of the assessee is to see that all the incomes have been correctly disclosed, all the TDS has been correctly reflected in the income tax portal. You may ask your consultant to provide you with a printed copy of the 26 AS, AIS and TIS so that you can verify the same before the return is filed. There could be a situation where a tax has been deducted by the organization which has made the payment, but this is not getting reflected in your TDS returns. This could happen if the person has not filed the return, or the person who has deducted your tax at source have incorrectly quoted the PAN in the return. So whenever you are getting the list of 26 AS, AIS and TIS and you have studied it thoroughly, checked it thoroughly, and you have found out that there are certain TDS which are missing, please do not hesitate to contact the person who is making the payment and ensure that they have corrected the same so that this gets reflected in your 26 AS, AIS and TIS. So these are some of the important aspects that you must consider while you prepare to file your return of income before the tax authorities. Always remember to disclose all your income. If you miss out on something, you may get a notice after a short period of time. Due consideration should be given to whether you should go for the new regime or the old regime, whichever is beneficial to you. Capital gains is also very important. If you have done any transactions where a capital gain arises, then please disclose the same to your tax consultant. If you are eligible to some deductions like professionals under section 44 ADA, please check it out that such deductions have been claimed in your return of income. Whenever your consultant files the return of income, it could be a good practice to verify the same before the final submission is made. All these are important points which you may consider before you file your return of income. Thank you.